with caution.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2 of this finals. We still have 2 incredible games on our hands, and let's get straight into it. So far, Borgmo has been taking a beating from Mr. Calf. It is currently 3-0. We're playing on, I think this is Desert Mandarin? Yes, Desert Mandarin. Very small map, I would say. It doesn't look that small, but I mean, like, you spawn very close to each other. And once again, we have a Nod mirror on our hands. We have Borgmo on the left side in the gold yellow, and we have Calf on the other side playing as Nod in the brown. So far these have been like very close matches. It has all come. I feel like the first game was very heavily into Calf's favor. Like, he just did a nice deception attack in the north. He had an amazing flank with the bikes, already taking out a harvester and resulting in losing the MCV as well. And from there on out, Borgmo was just suffering way too much to come back from that. Second game was actually fairly close too, but you know, Calf just displayed a very nice GDI defense there, resulting in Borgmo just throwing away too many forces into taking eco or crucial buildings. And then finally, when Calf had a big enough of an advantage in terms of army value, he just was able to roll over his opponent and take the fight to him. Third game was actually looking very promising for Borgmo. He was doing fairly well in the beginning, actually was ahead, but then one bad engagement and being behind the production building. That's a lot of rocket soldiers. I think actually Cav was trying to, he still might be actually, he is going for a lot of early aggression. He still has a couple of rifles to deal with. Oh no. Oh, he needs to make sure that, oh. Well, Borgmo's happy with taking out the NG. Oh, he's gonna be too late. Oh, that's unfortunate. He was trying to do some early aggression, and if Borgmo didn't invest in so many rifles, this could have worked out for Cav. He might have been able to take out a harvester very, very fast, probably the first one even. So that would have messed up Borgmo's eco a ton. But don't forget, he invested into 5 rocket soldiers as well. That's a big investment from Cav, and that's why he went into harvester first. He didn't make a single buggy. But that actually might be bad for him, and now he is forced to use his harvester for a sec. And he could also be low power. Yeah, he has to rely on mainly buggies. But it's gonna take a while, and I'm surprised actually that Borgmo was going for another harvester. If he kept up the pressure here, he could have stopped this airstrip production completely. Here's another harvester though. That harvester is going to go in trying to crush the infantry, but he's not having a lot of luck with that so far. And he might go low power, but yeah, he already has another power plant up and running. So he should be good, but he has to do something about it. Here comes Borgmo now. He's gonna produce bikes, and I do like that. Like I said, if Borgmo actually decided to go for buggies and bikes instead of going for a third harvester, he would have had like at least 5 buggies sitting there waiting. And then it would have been really hard for Calf to make a comeback there. And then Borgmo could have went for, maybe he could have made like 4 buggies and 1 bike, and then make the third harvester. And that would have been really rough to deal with for Calf, because he couldn't make static defenses since he already moved out. I do like that ref placement from Borgmo actually. Really nicely, right next to the patch, because this one is going to regenerate, but also next to the blue tip as well. It's going to make so that he has a little bit faster of eco production, or eco income, I would say. Ooh, bikes were leading the front, but nice micro there from Borgmo. He keeps them alive. Cav is trying. Yep, Cav wants to kill the bikes. He wants to kill the bikes. And now there's a little bit poor micro there from Borgmo. He was not protecting his bikes. And Cav managed to just snipe them and make it out alive with his buggies. Very unfortunate micro there from Borgmo. Those two bikes could have been a pain for Cav to deal with later on. We're still kind of even in army value numbers. Alright, once again, Borgmo is going to set up his buggy scouts. He always does this, and I don't think this is a bad idea. Like, buggies do have a pretty good amount of vision, so they can just, and they also don't die as fast as rifles, especially if your opponent has buggies in the mix as well. Because if you just have a rifle and that rifle just instantly dies, it's going to be hard for you to spot what is exactly coming at you, how much of an army is coming at you. Is it his entire army, or is it just a split off attack? And sometimes just having that extra intel how much it is, you also have a pretty good idea how much you want to send over there to defend. Because sometimes, imagine that is just a deception attack and you're like, oh my god, my scout died. I need to send my entire army over there. And then boom, it's just like maybe it was like one buggy. And then his entire army is in his main base and then you're completely out of position. Yeah, you're gonna hate yourself for that one. But here we go. Another attack from Borgmo. It seems like Borgmo is the first one going with the comm center, but his flame tank is actually behind. Oh wow, that buggy just sniped another buggy and barely got scratched. Is Cav sitting on comm center? No, he is not. He opted to go for, I wanted to say a third rift, but it seems like Cav is just behind in macro right now, which is fairly good for Borgmo. Let's see. Yeah, Cav is going for third airstrip, but Borgmo is doing the same thing. So Borgmo is going to have an edge here, but he needs to focus the bike because the bikes are the ones that can kill him. As you can see, flame tanks are pretty good versus light armor as well. But the rocket soldiers and the bikes, like I said, tier 1 is still very viable, but a nice split here was all a deception in the main base because Borgmo is trying to deal damage, but once again, it seems like he is trading not that well. He tried to take out a refinery or he tried to take out a harvester and it just did not work out. Now he's being pushed back into his base. Cav is still sitting on tier 1. He has one airstrip not being producing anything though. He's trying to take out a harvester and he's going to get it as well with the sheer numbers of bikes. Nice micro there. He's gonna lose a couple of bikes here, but so far that was a very good trade for Cav for sure. So yeah, we have tier 1 not anymore though. He went for comm center, but he's low power and he's still not producing from his third airstrip. So this is definitely a mistake. Cav probably forgot about it. There we go, he remembered it, but he's already fairly behind. And Borgmo has been sitting on tier 2 for some time as well, so he just has a sheer number of light tanks. And he's got rifles with him to deal with the rocket soldiers as well. And rocket soldiers are slower than rifles, so eventually they're going to catch up. Another split here with 3 light tanks. That's a very efficient split from Borgmo. It's going to be very effective as well. But, the timing is a little bit unfortunate. Okay, never mind. He's going to keep up the pressure here. That's good. He's going to keep distracting Cav from the actual damage over here. He's going to go for the refinery instead of the harvesters. Cav is already pulling his harvesters back. And even though this is completely mined out, it is still a big blow to Cav. Cav is definitely in a lot of problems. 15k versus 3k for Borgmo here. Very good game from Borgmo so far. With another ref sitting up over here as well. Yeah, this is a very good position to be in for both players. Definitely the go-to position. Look, you just have 3 tip patches to yourself or at your disposal with this position. I like that. But yeah, how is Cav going to deal with this? I'm actually surprised that Borgmo is taking it so slowly here. Maybe he's not entirely sure how far he is ahead. I think that might be the case, but he took out another refinery, which means less eco for Cav, which means he cannot keep up this production with 3 airstrips. Actually, scrap that, 2 airstrips. And this split is really nice from Borgmo. Cav just doesn't have the numbers to deal with that. And here we go. Borgmo gives green light to the attack here. He's gonna take out another airship. Cav is forced to defend this, but here is that nice split. Hopefully Borgmo is moving them in time. He is, and Cav is going to go down here. Throws in the towel. And why did they say that match took 45 minutes? We probably had a spectator sitting in this lobby for quite some time. I don't know, but yeah, very nice match for Borgmo. He puts himself on the scoreboard, and we're going to move on to the next game.
Battle control terminated.
All right, here we go. We are going to game number 5 between Cav and Borgmo. We're playing on Tiberian Rift. And this time we have another classic matchup. We have Cav in the bottom right playing as GDI. And we have Mr. Borgmo playing as Nod in the top left. So it's currently 3-1. And Borgmo put himself on the scoreboard. And that was a very convincing game as well. So let's see if Borgmo can keep this up. Working on a comeback, and I'm happy to see it because, like I said, he is definitely. If there's anyone that can take on Cav in TD, it's definitely going to be Borgmo, and he also proved himself to be here in the first place. So kudos to him. Ooh, but he actually might get away with a snipe here. He is. Gonna get the NG, very nice, even though it was escorted by Cav. He got away with it. Likey. In the meantime, Borgmo's just gonna play it safe. He's gonna go for the safest oil there first. I do like that from Cav. Cav was trying to go for this oil first because obviously this one is a lot easier to take. So going for that one first might confuse your opponent a little bit. But no. Borgmo went straight for it. And it worked out because he got an engineer snipe straight away into this game. But yeah, it is a rough position for Borgmo to be in because it is a best of 7. So that means Cav is still on a match point. So Borgmo has to win every single game if he wants to come back from this. Got a drum solo for the Nod players. That was the Nod ending team. Alright, first scout from Borgmo coming out. He wants to know what is going on. He sees that the oil has been taken. But he might... Maybe he wanted to try and steal it because obviously... Instant capture in TD is a thing, and I think mainly this was Ganon's doing this. Like he usually wants to take your oils instead of his own, and that makes sense because not only you get an oil to yourself, you also negate the income or what Cav has spent on the engineer instead. You know, you also negate the investment from the opponent as well. Nothing out of the ordinary yet. Obviously, this is a bigger patch compared to the other maps we saw so far. So obviously going for double ref here before moving out is a valuable strat. Or a valid strat. Borgmo's doing the same thing, but it seems like he's on one less harvester. No. I'm just drunk and I'm seeing way more harvesters than there are. It's a pretty open map this is, but at the same time it's also easy to lock down. So let's see how this will turn out. Guard tower is going to be preemptively placed next to the airstrip to prevent camping the airstrip with the Humvees. Obviously, Humvees are a lot stronger than buggies, so it's going to be hard for Borgmo to defend this. Cav sees the second airstrip being placed down, so he wants to try and camp that. And he actually might get away with it because he's sending all of his Humvees over there. Yeah. Yep. Borgmo's trading very poorly here. This is good for Cav for sure. Fortunately, he missed the move out. And this is interesting. Borgmo is going for the blue and dispatch. And Cav is going upwards first. He has the second weapon factory out as well. He did that after moving out. So the fact that he's actually able to trade very well here is pretty good. But that's also because Borgmo has not been able really to produce from this airstrip efficiently. And Cav is still going to camp that. I think that's the harvester coming down. And I think Borgmo is getting ready to... Yep, there's the harvester. Harvester to use the soaking, so that means Cav has the micro like crazy. But he sees the expansion while he's retreating. And he's making a couple of rocket soldiers as well. Like I said, Humvees are still stronger than buggies, so this could be a very good trade. But here comes a turret from Borgmo as well. And nice micro from Borgmo here, just rotating in and out behind his turret so that the turret can do the soaking. But he also got baited a little bit as well. So they're trading fairly evenly. Yeah, I was about to say the army value is very close. Borgmo actually sent a harvester long distance mining to get some blue. He went for a comm center as well. I don't know, maybe I was about to say maybe he was going to be low on cash, but no, I was wrong. But Cav is going to have more eco though. He already has a third refinery up and running. He has the comm center going as well. Oh, that's an interesting placement. I think he's going to try and contest the blue. I mean, he can. Like, he still has a decent amount of eco before he actually needs to move out to get more eco. And maybe he feels a little bit too vulnerable if he's going to move out straight away over here. But it seems like he's going to risk it regardless. And Borgmo decides to go for the blue first. Obviously, blue is very valuable. It's double the amount of green. But it's going to be mined out fairly fast. But that's going to give him a very big
Civilian
boost.
killed.
So he could potentially go for a third airstrip straight away and keep up the pressure. But so far he's not building anything from his MCV. There we go. He's going for the third airstrip as expected. As expected. Cav is doing some scouting because he saw that either his scout got killed or he heard a civilian being killed over there through the shroud. I'm not entirely sure. But he's expecting a flank over there. That is actually not going to happen. Both players have their armies scattered across, including Borgmo as well. He just wants to make sure if he can see what's going on the other side of the map. But here we go. Cav is now the first one taking initiative over here. And Borgmo has to be the one to defend this. And this is a pretty big GDI army with medium tanks, Humvees, Grens, rocket soldiers, and rifles in the mix. And there's an AGT tower being placed down. I'm not sure why, but so far it is distracting the artilleries to deal damage to the infantry. Borgmo needs to micro these arties to deal damage to the infantry. Yep, he's doing it. He's actually targeting the rocket soldiers. Very intense micro here, but it seems like it's not going to be enough. No harvesters have been killed so far, and actually Borgmo is trading pretty well. Should eventually come out on top. Let's see if Cav can preserve the medium tanks. Oh, he's gonna go in. He is going to go in to deal more damage, but he might actually regret that, along with some turret defense as well. Borgmo should be able to hold this, and the army values are once again evening out. Cav is going to retreat. And to be fair, not a lot of damage has been dealt to Borgmo. Yes, he lost army, but he didn't lose anything valuable. He didn't lose harvesters, he didn't lose a refinery, he didn't lose an airstrip or something like that. They were just trading armies over here. But the pressure is still going though. Pressure is still going, and actually Borgmo has not that many sufficient answers to deal with the rocket soldiers so far. He's trying to go for crushes, and it's actually working out sorta. He still has the turret and the bikes dealing with the medium tanks from Cav, so that's a really good thing. And now he can move in some rifles to deal with the rockets. Yep, he's also transferring over harvesters, really nice. I like that. But was Borgmo stalling? It seems like both players are actually stalling. There's the eco slide from Cav as well. And I think it's hard to say who's in a better position, but so far I would say it's currently Borgmo, and he's actually putting up the pressure with the bikes right now. Cav is out of position there because the bikes are so fast, and he is going to get... No, he keeps it alive! Oh, what? That's... Oh no, that feels like a mistake. He could have finished that with just one bike. Maybe he anticipated that it would have died after the last rocket hit. But here's a base push, kind of. He's parking his MCV on the other side to be dominant, to deny this position from Cav any further. The RTs are doing a really good job as well, keeping the rocket soldiers at bay. But he's having problems dealing with the medium tanks right now. Love to see more rocket soldiers coming in from Borgmo currently. There's one. MCV is a little bit exposed, but he should be able to defend this with the rifles. But he has to protect this MCV if he wants to keep up this pressure. And it is very, very important for Cav to keep that safe, because this is going to be his main income right now. And it's going to come down to the micro from the RTs as well. But the problem is the medium tanks are still able to just waltz their way into the forces of Borgmo and sniping all of these RTs. And when the RTs fall, that means Borgmo is going to have an issue dealing with these rocket soldiers. And it seems like it is happening. 1.8k army value for Borgmo, 13k for Cav. I do really like that kind of base push from Borgmo. He had a good idea, but it didn't work out. And now he's going to sell off the MCV because he knew it wasn't getting away, even if he tried to undeploy it. And that is probably going to do it. I don't see any resistance, or not enough resistance from Borgmo to keep this safe. Airstrike being used from Borgmo. That's a pretty nice airstrike. Took out most of the infantry, but he still has to deal with the sheer amount of medium tanks. Ooh, that airstrike completely missed. Only took out a light tank, but look at that. He has gotten his hands onto the eco from Borgmo. So many harvesters are at risk going down. That's 2 harvesters already going down. That's a 3rd one going down for sure. Borgmo is microing out of his mind with the sheer amount of units he has. But it's not going to be enough. The harvesters are trying to flee. Another harvester goes down. That's 4 already. Bike micro is being insane right now, but it's not going to be enough. The 5th harvester is on the run, and it seems like the 5th harvester is going to make it out alive. But Borgmo calls the GG. Well played. And just like that, your TDGL Season 3 champion is going to be Mr. Cav. Congratulations to Mr. Cav. Obviously, thank you for participating. It was a pleasure casting these, and well played to Borgmo as well. He showed countless times that he did have what it takes to take on Mr. Cav. But unfortunately, some minor decision-making errors were his downfall, especially in this last game. But he proved in the game before that he can definitely do what it takes to take on our current TDGL Season 3 champion. Once again, congratulations to Borgmo, and thank you guys for watching as well. Don't forget to stay cautious, and I'll see you boys in the next video.